name is Father Ishmael Matambura. I'm a Jesuit from the Democratic Republic of Congo and Director of the African Jesuit AIDS Network, which has its office in Nairobi at the Jesuit Conference of Africa and Madagascar. So AJAN is one of the department of the Jesuits in Africa, and this is the office which coordinates the activities in health and youth development across the continent. This is Africa and Madagascar. And so today we are celebrating the World AIDS Day, which has started way back since 1998, and today we continue raising awareness about this pandemic, which is still a very big problem for the continent especially, and for the world today, as it's still claiming a lot of people's life and also creating suffering in the world. This year, 2025, the theme that we are reflecting on and raising more awareness about this pandemic is about overcoming disruption and transforming the AIDS response. When we talk of disruption, it's about something that it can be a challenge, it can be something that inconvenience what one is doing, and also something which interrupts progress. And knowing that, of course, being conscious that when we overcome those disruption, then we are able to transform the response that is being given. Why is it important to really overcome disruption, I think, or reflect or create more awareness? It's because when we look at the situation of HIV today in the world, we have more than 40, no, actually it's 40.8 million people who are living with HIV, and among those we have got new infection. Actually, this is 1.3 million. Then people also lost their lives in the year 2024, and we are talking about 630 people. And of course, among those who are infected, not all of them who are taking their treatment. It's only 31.6 people who are under treatment. And then when we look at the death in general since the pandemic came, we are talking of more than 44 million people who lost their lives. And so even though in terms of progress, the reduction of death has been really increasing every year, and we are talking of like the reduction of about 70% of death compared to the year when this pandemic came. And the target actually for 2025 is that the death toll should be reduced on less than 250 people. But we are still very far from there when we look at what we realized, what the death the people we lost, unfortunately, in the past last year, 2024. So for me, it's important, and for us here in Africa, on the continent, is again more important, because when we look at the people who are newly infected, we are talking of 63% of the new infected. They are here on our continent, sub-Saharan Africa. And then we look at the weekly report in terms of infection. We are looking at 3,300 adolescents, and that is very, very important to us who are involved in prevention. So we are talking of the new infection which are really affecting the adolescent, and that should be something that will stick in our mind and really help us take more action. And so when we look at our continent, we realize that the continent is really highly affected, and actions need to be taken. Now, when we look at the major disruption, we realize that One of them, the most recent one, will be the COVID-19. The COVID-19, this is 5 years ago, and with the lockdown which followed, and then and even the reduction of funding which still continues today, all those created a disruption in terms of activities, action that is to be made, and even in terms of care. People, some people couldn't even access their medicines, their care, their services, and so forth. And then the reduction of funding, which of course started some years back, and it continues. And with that again, it creates less. You will see less involvement in terms of prevention. So now, being a network, we are involved in these activities of preventing HIV and, of course, malaria and TB and other diseases which are transmittable disease, to really have people who are living well. So we are talking of promoting the well-being of the people, looking at all these aspects of their lives that really prevent that well-being to be a reality. We continue doing our work in terms of prevention. We are a network of 21 centers which are located in 18 countries across Africa. And so by looking at one of our strategy is using the peer educators. And we use the peer educator. We also involved communities and then caregivers to the young people and even those who are infected, and of course also using also our education institutions and churches to really carry out all these activities in terms of continuing this fight against HIV. One is a behavior change program, which is AJAN HIV and prevention program for the youth, which actually is recognized by UNAIDS as the program that can help in reducing in ending HIV among the adolescents and the youth and the children. We do train the trainers, and today we have 1,620 trainers in this program, and they themselves have reached out more than 1 million young people across the continent. We have got other programs that we have also developed to really continue this prevention and make sure we contribute the eradication of HIV on the continent by 2030. And then the second one is now the economic empowerment, because for us we believe that values, they go with economic empowerment, targeting the youth who are really unemployed and out of school. And then this third program is building resilience in women and young girls in Africa. And this is all again targeting the women which are most vulnerable in our different centers across the continent. Also, we have got women who are now self-reliant in terms of accessing food, which is very important for those who are really infected with HIV. Then others are even happy. They've reported that they are now able to feed their kids the way they wanted, because they are making income from the different activities that we supported, and the training that they received on how they handle their businesses and how they manage their money and so forth. And so we are happy hearing from their stories, beautiful stories, and very encouraging ones. And we believe that with that, slowly we'll be able really to promote that well-being that we are looking at. A big challenge that we got this past year or month, I could say, is that the fund cutting from the PEPFAR, which actually has to reshape or to redefine the way they are supporting, and even USAID, and so that has affected the our intervention in some countries. But that did not stop us moving. And so being a faith-based institution, so we are able to think more about our community. How do we involve more the parishes that we are working in, or the communities of believers that are working in our centers? And so, we used one of the strategies, advocate more with the local government, and so joining other civil society agents, and so that we support in the way we are raising awareness in the government to raise the budget that is allocated for in health. And also another thing that we are looking at is mental health support. When people, some people receive the news that their medicines will be reduced, that their hospital are not sure of getting them refill their medicines. So it creates a lot of anxiety, and that goes with mental health. And so we also increase our interventions in terms of support, psychosocial support to the people, so that we don't lose them. And then another one was also again engaged in how we can develop more those income generating activities to promote more and more self-help groups, where people, with the less they are, the small, they are getting from their activities, they are able to put together a fund, which we call a social fund, a sort of cooperative, where now they are contributing weekly or monthly, depending on the group. And then with that, they are able to even borrow from that fund, or support those who are more affected in the group. We focus also on the youth. Today I will use this opportunity really to call the young people in this continent, which are more than 60% of the population, to really get involved in fighting against pandemic, not only HIV, but really against all the pandemics in general, because they are a threat to our well-being and our growth. For that, I will call the young people really to, if everyone can think of one or two principles or values or virtues from which they can live their lives. Principles which are not negotiable, which cannot be changed according to the waves, according to the influence of others, but live out of the principles. In our context today, where we have AI, we have value relativism, so that is really key for the young people to be able to be that agent of change we are looking at when we accompany them. I would like also to call, using this opportunity today, to call the church institutions to continue to keep going, because there is still a lot to do, and we cannot stop moving. Speak more, create more awareness in our communities. The issue on pandemic, the challenges that our communities are facing, when we know them, then we are able to act and initiate positive action that can be done. And then to our governments, my message will be to really take seriously the question of health and well-being of the people. Because for me, the first richness of the country is the people, the healthy people. And when I talk of health here, is spiritual health, is economic health, is social health, is physical health. And so when people are healthy in all those dimensions, then the country will be able to benefit from it, because everyone will get involved for the change and for the good of the whole community. So they need to put in money. If every government could really stick on having 15% on the national budget on health. That will be helpful, and slowly we can really end and be able to make change in terms of health and promoting the well-being of our people. And my call to everyone is that we all have a mission. We all have a mission on this earth, on this world. And that mission is really to care for one another. There is this biblical reference that I like, is that, where is your brother? Where is your brother? From Genesis 4:9, God is calling us, is asking you and me, where is your brother? It's a call to get involved and to support each other. Look for, promote each other's well-being. And with that, then we will not leave those who are most vulnerable die or continue suffering, but we will do our best really to support them. And the other one is that the same God who created us, who created you and me, also sent us to go on his behalf. Okay, when he is talking to Moses, he will say, now I have heard the cry of my people, I have seen their suffering, and I have decided to act. Now you go and act. And so we are all called to act positively, and we need to start from where we are, using, of course, also the means that we have in collaboration with one another. Thank you.